This video is a continuation of the tutorial for the mini pendant. With having a mostly finished pendant, I'm going to add just one more wire to it to fill it out a little bit more to my standards. Using a piece of 14 gauge half round wire, this is dead soft. This piece is about 8 inches long. I don't end up using it all though, so it doesn't really matter. I just bent it in half. I'm going to slide it through the loop that we have here on the bottom. And I'm just going to use it to cover up some of the sides a little bit more and to maybe just add a little bit more of a decorative flair to it. Every little bit of wire does help the piece be a little bit more sturdy. So I'm going to pull it just around the side, just kind of finding a spot for it. I'm going to loop it through there. And I guess we'll see if it'll slide through here. Kind of pinching that together, pushing that wire in there a little bit tighter and pulling it around to the back side. And I'm not really sure, so I'm going to leave that there for now. I'm going to go work on this other wire. After looking at it a little bit more, I decided just to cut the wire really short. This will also help tuck and hide some of the starting wires of that weave that we had. Just kind of makes that edge just a little bit more snag proof. So now that we got that first wire tied off, I'm going to now just find a spot to tie this off. Nothing too fancy or too big. This is just more of a decorative wire. It's not as structural, so it can go with just a simple one loop around. It's also a 14 gauge wire, so it's pretty strong, and once it's bent into shape, it kind of stays there. So that's it. We're finished with adding all the wire to this piece. I'm going to now cover the opal with a sticker. It's just the leftover sticky paper from my address labels that I use. So now, starting with a 220 grit bristle disc setup, I have 2 bristle discs on the mandrel, powered by a flex shaft. We're going to polish this. Anytime I go over the smaller wires, I'm going to be very gentle, but I'm going to mostly use this on the thicker wires to just kind of polish out any extra little scuffs or marks. Also the wire from the factory. It looks a bit shiny, but it's never really that polished. So I'm going to speed this up. Here I'm going to use a file to get out a little bit deeper of the scuff, and then just polish over it with the bristle discs. Now switching over to the 400 grit bristle disc setup. We have 3 of the discs on the mandrel. We don't have to be quite as precise as we had to be with the 220 grit. This 400 is not quite as rough. Now switching to the pumice bristle discs. I have 3 of these pumice ones. They can hit more of the smaller wires and everything without much of a fear of digging through it. Now we're going to pause after using the pumice bristle discs. I'm going to remove the sticker that I have protecting the stone, and now will be the time to oxidize this piece. So I've prepared some boiling water, and I have 2 pieces I'm going to oxidize in this batch. So especially with stones as soft as opal or stones that are prone to cracking, I like to warm up the dish and the pieces by splashing a little bit of hot water in there, letting it kind of warm up a little bit, and splashing a little bit more, letting it warm up a little bit more. Now at this point, this water has started to cool off a little bit just from absorbing the coolness of the dish and the pieces. But now everything's kind of heating up. So I'm going to dump that water out. I'm going to add more hot water now. Now with super fresh hot water, now I'm going to add this Midas brand liver of sulfur. This is a gel. I bought this 6 years ago and I'm still only this far down in this container. This stuff lasts forever. And now with the boiling water, I'm going to add the liver of sulfur gel to the solution and mix it around in there a little bit. The more you add, the darker the piece tends to get. Sometimes I'll even apply it directly onto it. I like to oxidize any of the pieces with opal in them for sure. It helps bring out the colors of the opal. That's why they're always set on darker backgrounds. And then I just rinse my pieces with water. Some people use a baking soda solution to neutralize the oxidizing. I don't. I just use the liver of sulfur, rinse it with water, and then go back to polishing my pieces. And a lot of them tend to do pretty well over time without oxidizing too much. And now I'm going to repolish this with the pumice, and I'm not going to worry about covering up the stone. This pumice shouldn't scratch the opal, but just for safe measure, I like to use my fingernail to protect some of the stones on this step. And now with the 1 micron bristle discs, I'm going to finish polishing this up. These can go right over the stone. These don't really damage anything. So these are really nice, soft, and gentle for your pieces. So I'm going to polish this up. Now I'm going to use this rouge polishing cloth. This, as well as everything else, is linked in the description on my Patreon, and also always all my tools are on my website if you check out the tutorials page. And now that's how we have a finished piece. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks again for your patronage. Happy creating, and I hope you all have a great day.